Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through the massive card at Rosehill Gardens this weekend. It is Slipper Day. We're going to get to that later. We've got the quaddie to bring you. We've got some best bets. We've got some value bets. And Mike, the $100 hot seat a bit later on. We're going to put you under the pressure there. But as I said, it's Slipper Day, 5 Group 1s. But you must be exhausted having done all this form for the weekend.
Oh, geez, Stu, it's been an enormous week. It's been a huge week. Absolutely huge racing this Saturday. We put so much hard work into it as a team. We just need a huge result. So many big prizes on Saturday.
Well, so much love for you and the analyst team for getting all that done. Look, big fields in the quaddie legs, Mike. But look, is it that hard to really find a wet tracker and just a lot of value on Saturday on a Group 1 day?
I think it is, especially 2-year-old Gold Slipper races with not much wet track form. But you won't be disappointed looking at those profiles. We've turned over every rock we can. Type, confirmation, style.
You've done it all.
Everything, we've got it.
All right, but what about a betting strategy, Mike? We've had a lot of rain, the big fields. Tell us how we can play a day like this.
Yeah, don't be afraid to bet on a few runs. I think on Saturday, 9 big races on Saturday, big prizes. If you go one out in every single race, you might end up pretty short at the end of the day. And also be very wary of that soft track form from a couple of weeks ago at Randwick. A very different type of soft track that day. Different
types of soft tracks, so don't look for that one at Randwick. That takes us to tracks though, Mike. We opened a bit of a Twitter poll last week and conditions of racing, the pre-race information. Really interested to know, what did the public have to say?
Yeah, it's a trending topic lately, isn't it? And just slightly on the negative side, people are saying that we can do more when it comes to tracking conditions information before the race on Saturday. So we'll be doing another Twitter poll tonight with some ideas with how we fix that problem.
Look, we're going to get to that, but we've got to kickstart the quaddie. The first leg, Mike, it is the Rosehill Guineas, the 2,000 metres for the 3-year-olds. Such a great race it is. We've always got the Kiwis coming over. And gee, didn't they pull our pants down last year? Ginger Nuts, he was the people's horse of the Autumn Carnival last year. But look, we've got Ace High, one of our own locals in the race. David Payne's training him. He's set for a big preparation. He's already in it. But you look at his form and he's raced 4 times in the wet for a big duck egg. So what do we do here?
Yeah, big strider, big risk in the wet. Definitely. He's a horse that definitely prefers a good track. There'll be plenty of these horses on Saturday we've got to look out for. Let's have a look at the way the first leg of the quaddie sets up. Group 1, such good racing on Saturday. 2,000 metres, a fair tempo to kick us off. We think the track will be soft 5 to soft 6, talking about forecasts. Maybe we're about 75% sure on that forecast. It's set up to be a fair bias as well, maybe a little bit off rails if they chop up the inside early in the day, definitely by the quaddie legs. Across the 3 key factors, 3-year-olds on the rise, on the way up, we've got to play scope. We have to play distance up to 2,000 metres. And a soft Rosehill, I think we're playing in every single key factors race in this show, Stu.
Oh, it's going to be very important come Saturday. The rain has been around in Sydney. Let's get stuck into the first leg of the quaddie and have a look at the market now. And it is Ace High who is on top at $4.60, just eased out a little bit. The big grey D'Argento is right there off his Randwick Guineas run. Vinda Dance, one of the Kiwis coming over. As I said, they've got a great record in this race this time of year. Cliff's Edge up from Melbourne. How bullish is this guy when he gets out to the lead? It'll be great to see him going there, Mike. But look, the Kiwis are here to play. They're here to win. But look, we've got a couple of locals at the top of this betting market.
Yeah, quality horses, quality Australians, quality Kiwis. Let's have a look at one replay from each side of the Tasman. Starting off with the Group 1 Randwick Guineas. You'll see this replay a few times, I think, in form shows leading up to Saturday. Some big runs in this race. Ace High's come back enormous. He's so close to the finish over 1,600 metres. 2,000 metres will be much better for him on Saturday. D'Argento, poor old Adkins, got thrown on last minute after Bowman was indisposed. He was pretty good out wide, Stu.
Well, I thought he was going to run straight past Ace High here. Still a big run from the big grey, but Ace High just loves to pick himself up off the canvas.
Yeah, he lifts late. Chaonic strong in the white as well. He was tightened. Capital Gain absolutely flattened early by the favourite. Forgive him at huge odds.
All right, a big forgive in that race. Let's have a look now at these Kiwis because we simply have to, Mike. This form is definitely there to be looked at. We're going back to the Avondale Guineas here. We're looking at a whole host of them.
Yeah, 2,100 metres, a couple of starts ago for most of these horses. Most of them went on to the Group 1 Derby after this, over 2,400 metres. On pace, Vinda Dance fighting on pretty well. He went on to win the Derby, obviously. Mission Hill, the one out wide in the green, warming up late. On to heels about now. He'd won his previous couple of starts. He probably should have won this one. And the Lord Mayor, I think he's now with Waller. He was a forgive run. He was wide, no cover the whole way.
Look, my big question out of this, Mike, any Ginger Nuts or any Jimmy Choos coming from that run or the Derby?
Yeah, big question. Clumped field, not the best form lines maybe, but Mission Hill should have won that race, I think.
OK, well, let's look at a couple of replays. All this analysis, Mike, has been going on all week. Let's get stuck into it now. We're going to have a look at the form and then take the viewers through all the key factors to get the winner in the first leg of the quaddie.
This analysis has not been easy, I can guarantee guarantee that. Starting off with the form, Ace High D'Argento from the Group 1 Guineas. Maybe we're being kind to the Kiwis. They're definitely behind on form ratings. Light up the two Aussies.
Okay, two Aussies in front. As we hit the key factors, Mike, scope, so much of these ready for improvement.
Yeah, Ace High can improve, obviously, and a lot of these 3-year-olds can improve, but D'Argento still massive upside for him. Chaotic as well, getting into his preparation. Waller's got more up his sleeve with these two horses, we think, and Furor unbeaten so far, Stu.
Yeah, wow, one with huge scope. Distance, Mike, up to the 21, as we said.
Up to 2,000 metres, yeah, for the Group 1 Guineas. Ace High should love it. D'Argento, we think, will love it as well, but Ace High gets a double kicker. He's an absolute stayer. Chaotic, exciting to see him up to 2,000 metres. And Mission Hill, back in distance, could be the key for him.
And as they hit the line, Mike, this race is probably going to be run on the soft. We know that.
Yeah, Ace High, we talked about it at the top of the preview. It's got to be a big risk for the big striding son of High Chaparral. D'Argento, we think will be okay. Chaotic, we know will be okay. He's won it before.
So it's D'Argento there, just putting his head out. It's the grey that's got his edge of the two favourites there, but Mission Hill definitely lurking there, just in behind, not too far away in this Guineas.
Yeah, he's a big value chance, I think. If we bring up the odds and have a look and see how he shapes up against those favourites. Ace High, it's the wet track that's a risk for him. D'Argento, just a bit of scope on a soft track gives him a big plus. Chaotic, he can seriously improve. And Mission Hill right there, like we said, with Furor as well. So quite a few each way plays if you like them there. If the track firms up, we're going to go Ace High, but our best bet's D'Argento. If the track stays soft, the big grey booming down the outside with Bowman back on. And Mission Hill, a Kiwi, we think he'll firm. We think he's a good 2,000 metre horse.
Big grey in the first leg of the quaddie there for us. Mission Hill, the value. Mike, onto the Golden Slipper. This is the race for 2-year-olds, $3.5 million up for grabs. I mean, this is the dream race for an owner. It's also the dream race for a trainer, but I'll tell you what, it's been a sleepless night for all these trainers, especially Frenchman Jean Dubois and Brad Widdop. They've got their first slipper runners. And the favourites, well, they were tuned up with wins last week. We got the Blue Diamond winner in Written By, Graham Begg. Great to see him back in Sydney. And the Magic Millions winner, Sunlight. How pumped was Tony McAvoy after that barrier draw during the week?
Yeah, so he should be. She's primed for this race. And a big shout out to all the trainers. They've done such a good job to get their horses to this race. James Cummings may be slightly disappointed with just the one runner. Group 1, 1,200 metres, a really, really strong tempo. They're going to fly in this race, soft 5 to soft 6. Fair, we hope, maybe slightly off rails. Across the three key factors, a massive golden slipper field, so you've got to play position and run. Who gets the right spot? There's so many pouring to one pace. A soft race here we're playing again. And because of that strong tempo, you need a tough 2-year-old that can hit the line. We're playing Surge, a really key factor for this race.
That's what I want. One of those that I know is going to be there at the end of 1,200, Mike. The market for the slipper, it's been up for so long, so let's have a look now as we get closer to the race. Sunlight holding favouritism since the barrier draw there at $4.20. Written By, of that last start win in Sydney, $5. Seabrook up from Melbourne, having that win in Sydney. Santos for Gay, looking to make it win number 7 for Gay. Performer there, throwing Huey last start, so it'll be interesting to see Huey when he gets back on. A few others in the market there to mention. Sandbar, Estajab way out to 13s, and Al Merton there for the now Coolmore. But look, Sunlight, Written By, they've dominated this market from the barrier draw, Mike. Let's have a look at some replays.
Yeah, they both won last week. We'll look at a different replay for Sunlight, but we will look at Written By 7 days ago. This is one special horse for Graham Begg. Not often do you see a horse that's got so much early speed and so much fight at the end of their races. He gets on pace, he gets challenged by Sandbar, and boy does he lift. But what about the second horse, Stu? That was a huge run from an outsider too.
Well, that's it. You've got Written By, that's one of the favourites for this race. Sandbar just doesn't give him an edge at all in this race. He doesn't let him get away. Look at that margin back to third.
Yeah, form analysts will be frothing when you see a margin at a good time like that. I think they ran about half a second faster than the filly, Sunlight. So, yeah, can't knock that run at all.
Let's have a look now at the Sweet Embrace, one of the other lead-ups, Mike. We're looking at Fiesta and, importantly, Seabrook here. These horses both had a bit of a trouble run.
Yeah, I think Seabrook hasn't had the best of luck in all her 3 starts so far in her career. First up, when she was on debut, she was wide, no cover the whole way and unlucky. Second up, she went to Caulfield and got absolutely smashed on the inside behind Uhud and probably should have won. This day, she was 4 wide, no cover, but it didn't matter. She did it. That's Huey Bowman again, lifting her to the line. Fiesta, no match when it mattered.
No, I thought it looked pretty professional too. The first time racing this way in Sydney. And Mick Price, just love his interviews this week. He's got a very big air of confidence about this horse come Saturday.
Yeah, she's a special horse for sure as well.
Look, we've got a third replay to show, Mike. It was such a great showdown, and it was billed like that the other week. It was Sunlight v Estajab. Here it is. They end up running 1-2 in the race here, Mike, but Estajab's now blown out to $13, so the punters here have really got to have a good think, don't they?
Yeah, there's a lot of chat on Twitter about these two horses and why they're so different in the market. I guess Estajab's got a really bad barrier, which is one concern. But if we're looking back to form lines when we see the winner on Saturday, we might come back to this race, talk about margins, talk about performances. These two fillies were flying this day. Esther Jubb every bit as good as the winner.
I don't mind seeing a bunch finish or when they just run out like that, Mike. Either way, the slipper's going to be fantastic come Saturday. You've done so much form for this weekend, Mike. Let's get stuck into it. Who's lighting up the form? Because it's all there.
Yeah, this was harder than the Guineas, I think, the 2-year-olds, but ridden by unbeaten so far, the class colt in the race. Light him up. He gets a gold bar for form.
There he is, written by, as we hit the key factors, Mike, position in run. Well, let's face it, so important in a golden slipper.
Yeah, really important. A lot of these favourites haven't been inside horses and been taught to settle yet. A lot of them on pace, out wide, running on pretty well. Sandbar, we saw last start, he can do it. He gets the perfect run. Al Merton as well. He gets a nice spot midfield. They both get a gold bar for position run because of that reason.
Already looking pretty juicy, isn't it? What about the wet track? Not too many have seen him.
Yeah, Sunlight, powerful horse, on-speed horse. A bit of a risk on a wet track for sure. Written by his one on a wet track, but that was in an easier race. Those next few favourites should love it. We just saw Seabrook. It was a Randwick, like we said before, but she still won that day.
So, look, we've got 4 hitting the line here, Mike. As we do hit the line with Surge, that's what they're going to be doing come Saturday. Who is on top here?
Yeah, just another risk for Sunlight, isn't it? On a massively strong tempo. She hasn't taken a sit inside horses before. We love the horse, but a bit of a risk. Written by So Tough Late, So Seabrook and Performer. And Sandbar, we saw him stick on with Written By. You can't knock him either.
So it's looking like a 3-way go there, Mike, but Sunlight, importantly, has been swamped right when the business end hits the fan there. So really interesting there. It's time for a bet. We know we've got so many good 2-year-olds here, Mike. Sunlight's been opposed through your ratings, as you've said. Let's bring up these odds now to have a bet in the race because, Mike, I can see a few at odds there just in behind. We've got Sandbar at $12, Esther Jubb, as I said before, out to $13. How are we going to play this, Mike? We've got we've got one of the favourites on top. There's a lot of each way value there.
Yeah, absolutely zero definite confidence in this race. I think you have a lot of people with massive opinions choosing one horse in the race. Absolutely no one knows who's going to win this race. Obviously, Written By is going to give it a huge shake, but on the soft track from the right position run, storming home late, there's 2 horses that start with S, and they're not Sunlight. Seabrook for us, she's the one each way on top. And Sandbar, he's so tough as well. He'll be right there with Written By again, we think.
All right, taking on the favourite there in the Golden Slipper, but wow, that is going to be some race come Saturday. Let's look at the first 2 legs for the Slipper meeting Saturday. Stick around and we'll wrap it all up after the break. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. We're up to the 3rd leg of the quaddie this weekend at Rosehill Gardens, and it is the Galaxy over the 1,100 metres, Mike. And before I start, who can forget last year? Russian Revolution out in front with Red Zell. Look what he's done since then. Jungle Edge was right there as well, so I hope we get a finish like that. And Benny Smith, he's got that great mare in her time back to the track. It was only a few weeks ago we had a social game of cricket with Benny Smith, Mike. And look, I'll tell you one thing, I'm glad he can train better than throwing down those pies he did on the cricket pitch, because they were absolutely no good. But one thing he did tell us, he said she was flying. Then we saw that barrier trial. And, mate, he's just one of those great guys in racing, isn't he? He's got about 25 in his stable. And then there's Mick Bell, who's training Jungle Edge. He's only got about 8. So some great trainer stories in this race too. Really looking forward to the Galaxy.
Yeah, both good stories. Smaller trainers, different stages of their career, but both great guys. Benny Smith, we hope you get your Group 1 within her time. We hope we're not biased when we go through this race and see how she does. Group 1 Galaxy, 1,100 metres. Let's have a look at the way the race sets up. Soft track we talked about all afternoon. Fair to off rails bias, we've already talked about it. It should be an honest tempo, a few going forward, including Snitty Kitty, across to the 3 key factors. For this 1,100 metre race, we've got to play stage of preparation. You need sprinters at the peak of their preparation to win. Soft Rosehill, the soft track's important. And reliability is a different one, isn't it? Which sprinter is the most reliable in this race?
Yeah, one of my favourite key factors, reliability, Mike. Let's have a look at the market for this 3rd leg of the quaddie, because I know one horse is incredibly reliable, and that is In Her Time. $4 favourite for the race. Jungle Edge, well, he goes a bit up and down for mine, but $4.20, gets his wet track. Viridine there, this coming stable, very, very confident here, set for the race. Snitty Kitty has had some money, $12 into $5.50, just out to the $6 today. English there as well, just outside the $10 mark. But, Mike, In Her Time, Jungle Edge, the punters having to struggle to decide who's on top here.
Yeah, the handicap weights, it kind of makes them pretty even, doesn't it? Even though you like certain horses. Let's have a look at a couple of replays to see which ones are going well. Let's have a look at Jungle Edge last up, first up. Then we'll have a good in her time, last preparation. The next replay, starting with Jungle Edge, the red horse to his outside is none other than Redzel, who's the favourite for the TJ Smith and the Everest winner. Look, Jungle Edge returned with a really strong run this day. Viridine, the horse in the blue, he's running on pretty well too, Stu.
Yeah, Viridine's the horse that's got my eye. As I said, probably set for this race. But look, Redzel out in front. Jungle Edge, I mean, this is one of his more reliable runs, I guess.
Yeah, really good return. Really strong horse at his best, but can he produce again? Viridine, I think he gets a 3 kilogram swing from that race, so he's prime second up.
All right, let's take you back to, well, it's the spring. It's in her time and it's in the Premier, Mike. And all importantly, this is first up last time in. Some good horses around too here, though. English, we'll see coming late.
Yeah, in her time first up. Box seat, coming to the outside. Look, apparently she's put on some weight this preparation. You can see she's a little bit lighter than Ball of Muscle, who's an absolute beast. But what she does when she gets into the clear, she's a proper racehorse. She pins her ear back and, gee, she fights. English storming down the outside. She was in form last September. I don't think she's in form this preparation.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a horse in form that was chasing. But look, she just says, no, I want this. And that's what she did on the line. She's just so brave.
Every single start she puts in.
Yep. Well, look, there's a look at a couple of replays. But now we've got to get into all the analysis, Mike. The form, who lights up the gold bar here?
Yeah, no surprise. In her time, the class horse. She should have won a Group 1 by now, and she hasn't. Light her up, she gets a gold bar for form.
As we look at the key factors now, Mike, stage of preparation, the first one, favourites first up?
Yeah, Viridine's second up, primed for this. James Cummings loves him. Ball of Muscle, fitter as well. They're the two that can peak second or third up.
So it's in her time with her neck out in front. Soft track, Mike. Again, such an important play Saturday.
Yeah, Jungle Edge fans were hoping for a heavy, weren't they? But the rain didn't quite come on Thursday and maybe not enough on Friday. But you still love it soft. Viridine unbeaten on soft with one start. I think Thronum's going to Melbourne now, isn't he, Stu?
He sure is. So it's in her time, just with her neck out here. And Mike, the last one, we've mentioned it already through the show. Reliability. I love it. And look, she is so reliable.
She is massively reliable. But there's 3 horses, aren't there? In her time always puts in. Viridine's never put a bad run in ever. He's always strong to the line. And Snitty Kitty on pace and tough. All those 3 horses you can rely on for a good start, we think.
So as we've hit the line there, Mike, it's in her time, just there ahead of Viridine's Snitty Kitty. Time for a bet in this race. Look, we've had a look at all the analysis there. Let's bring back up the odds here because I see something from the start here, Mike. It's in her time. It was obviously the very reliable horse, but looks as though we've gone against Jungle Edge here. We can bank on in her time. Is that what we're saying? We're banking on the class and it's in her time out of the 2 favourites.
Yeah, we think so. We think she's a slightly better horse anyway, and we also think that she's a more reliable horse. I think the soft track suits her perfectly. The positioning run's not too much of a risk for us. I mentioned to Lady Esprit down there at massive odds. She's not the most reliable type in the world, but geez, her 2 runs this preparation have been enormous. So don't rule her out. Ball of Muscle's in the mix as well. He just doesn't win enough, but it's in her time for us each way all day. If you can get each way odds for her, just load up. Put her on a place if you want it because she's so reliable. She'll be in the finish. And Lady Esprit, what about those last 2 runs? You can't ignore them. Not the most reliable, but she's flying this prep.
$34 there, I think I saw as well.
You can't deny that's good value.
All right, so it's in her time for the 3rd leg of the quaddie there, the Galaxy. Let's wrap it up with the birthday card stakes for the fillies and mares, Mike. And look, we've had 3 really heavy legs of the quaddie, and then they hit us with this mares sprinting race to end the day. I don't want this to stuff up the quaddie at the end of the day, Mike. There's a big squeeze in the weights. I reckon we just got to stick to some nice, classy horses in this. And I see there's a runner coming up from the Oakley Plate. That's class for mine.
Yeah, proper Group 1, maybe Group 2 horses in this race. This mares race could be a form reference for the future. It's a cracking race to end the day. Race 9, 1,200 metres, Group 3. Let's have a look at the way the race sets up. A fair tempo for you going forward, soft conditions we talked about. You'd think they'd be getting off rails by this stage of the day, just chopping out the inside. Across the 3 key factors, we're playing scope. There's some mares with big upside in this race. We're playing a soft rose hill again. We're playing it all afternoon and position and run bigger field. You want the right spot.
You sure do. Come on Saturday, and you've mentioned it there. They might be getting off the rails, so wait and see there. Let's have a look at the market now for this last leg of the quaddie on Saturday. And Sugar Bella, how good has she been since been returning? But wow, $3.10, pretty short in the market here. Quillista up from Melbourne, as I say, from that Oakley Plate run at $5.50 with some really decent support there too, in from as much as $11. Tulip, well, she went round the Golden Slipper this day last year at $6. Miss Q, who pushed Sugar Bella last start at $9 there. Faraway Town sticking at the sprint journey at the $10. But Sugar Bella, Mike, she's come back very impressively, and the punters think she can get the job done in the last.
Yeah, she was absolutely smashed first up in this replay and she won. But geez, Miss Q for Joe Pride, she was smashed as well. So no surprise to see them both run well. It was a pretty quick track this day and it was a little bit hard to make ground. It was a fair bias overall. but you didn't want to get too far back. But these two mares were way back, way out wide, and both huge runs, Stu.
That's what made it just so good, wasn't it? They were both at the back, and look at the finishing burst here. Love seeing that, but will we see that in the last come Saturday?
Well, we're not sure because they're both powerful types. You can see by their frame. They loved the dry, firm track that day. Slow burn, not too bad in 7th. She might be the one that prefers a soft track. Don't rule her out.
Okay, well, let's have a look at another replay here. And as we often do on key factors, why not throw in something a little bit left field? And this is Tulip on a soft Rose Hill in the Magic Night Stakes as a 2-year-old over a year ago.
I mean, she's a really, really good horse. And I guess after looking at all these replays, you want to throw in a bit of a different one. This is her only start on a soft Rose Hill track. She obviously went on to the Golden Slipper after this and ran well. Look, talk about margins. We talked about margins in the Slipper replays before, didn't we? She loomed up, she put them away. And what was the horse in second, Stu?
That's Elise just inside, and we know what she's come out and done, but look at that, absolutely running away. Great replay to watch.
Yeah, and she's only 3 or 4 lengths off Group 1 form, and she's well weighted on Saturday.
Well, let's look at a couple of replays. Mike, it's the last leg of the quaddie. That form's been done, so take us through the form and the key factors to win the day.
There is some serious form in this race. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mares absolutely flying. Light them up. They all got a gold bar for form.
So we're all got gold bars, so come on, we need key factors to just give us this difference. First up, scope.
Yeah, a little bit of upsides, what we're looking for. Sugar Bella, Quilista. Did I pronounce that right? And Miss Q. They all have a bit of upside that could go better than their last start form rating, so they all get a gold bar for that.
Okay, so we've dropped one. We're left with Sugar Bella, Quilista and Miss Q there. What about the soft Rosie, Mike? Who likes the soft track?
Unfortunately, those 3 horses with scope don't have a gold bar for soft track. Sugar Bella and Miss Q we just talked about. Quilista, she should like the soft, but it's Darren Weir in Sydney, so you can't give it a gold bar for Rose Hill. Tulip, we saw that replay. She's a really strong, tough filly.
Okay, so as they hit the line, what about position in a run? Is this going to sort it out?
Yeah, we think so. Quilista on pace. She gets the lane. Sugar Bella just behind. They both get the gold bar. Tulip has drawn the car park. Miss Q, not too much better. So
we've got proper form here. Sugar Bella, Quilista there. That's the proper form. We've got a couple just lurking there. Tulip just behind. I'm feeling this is a bit of a bet race, Mike. Let's bring up these odds and see where we're going to be playing in the last. I think we had about as much as 7 runners there within about a length of each other. So that's a little bit of an each-way play for me. If we look down there, we've got Tulip there, $6. Sugar Bella, Quilista. We're not knocking them at all, are we? I mean, where's the value here, Mike? It's ratings here pretty much versus the market, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it looks like a bet race. It doesn't look like an exciting race. But actually, when you look at those ratings, is there any edge, Stu, there? I can't really... No, the ratings match the market, so no edge for us. So we're actually going to bet small in this race. We're not too confident. We might go wide in the quaddie. Looking at our best bets, though, we're going to play Quilista. I've got to make sure I pronounce that horse right for Darren Weir. If she parades well, she's really tough on pace. And, gee, she was good last start. And Miss Q as well, another Q horse. She's good as well. She's a better value out of the favourites.
Well, there it is. Quilista up in town this weekend from Melbourne. Mike, there's a look at the 4 races. We've got to summarise all this now. Golden Slipper Day. How good would it be to get the quaddie? I reckon we're going pretty wide, though, because this is a tough day.
It's going to pay huge. It's going to pay enormous. You're going to see lots of tickets shared on social media when someone jags this $10,000 quaddie. Hopefully it's S. Rich and M. Wood, race 6. There's 6 horses there. The big roughie we're putting in his capital gain. He got smashed by Kementari last start and could love 2,000 metres, but all the usual suspects in there as well. Race 7 we talked about, written by. There is no sunlight. We had to leave one of the favourites out. Uhud, did I say that right? If it tries out, she'll be flying home late. Race 8, you've got to put in her time in. And race 9, going wide again, Fragonard and Slow Burn on a soft track. They're the ones that value for us.
No slipper favourite in the quaddie. Love it. That's what we do here on Key Factors for that big result. Mike, that's a look at the quaddie. Let's have a look at the $100 hot seat now. No more bar charts. The form's been done. I just want bets from you. Where's our $100 going this week for the punters at home? There it is on screen, but I'm keeping you accountable. I'm writing this down as well.
Yeah, we're going pretty well. What is it? 2018 profit, $296. We had pretty much a break-even week last week. We're going outside the quaddie for the first bet. $20 a win, Lord Fandango. We heard he's on the float as of Thursday. As long as it dries out a bit, he's a superior 2,400 metre horse that will win. Race 6, the Rose Hill Guineas. $20 a win on D'Argento. Mission Hill, the roughie, capital gain, huge odds. Actually, that's a place bet for him. Into the Golden Slipper, Seabrook and Sandbra leaving out Sunlight. And in her time, so reliable in the Galaxy, she will win that race.
Wow, you've spread your wings all over with the $100.
Yeah, we told the strategy has to be go wide on Saturday. It's such a risky day, so we had to follow through on that, didn't we?
Look, we can play in many of those races. There's a look at the quaddy legs for Golden Slipper Day this weekend. It's going to be fantastic. Get out there, Sydney. I want to see 30,000 there. Let's hope that can happen and the rain can stay away. But enjoy your Golden Slipper Day, and we hope you jag a big piece of that quaddy because that's just going to pay.
It's going to be awesome. See you at the track.
See you next week, guys.